edit that out. Yeah, now
Oh
it
yeah, I
says
can cut it
live,
out.
so I don't know how they.
It's
Oh, I
live now,
guess
but I
like
don't.
on YouTube it'll show like the thumbnail, but it won't show like the actual like video
Oh
because it
yeah,
knows
yeah,
we're like
yeah,
starting one, you know.
yeah. What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another dual self-aware narcissist live. Me and Mr. Ben Taylor at Raw Motivations. Over here, another self-aware narcissist on the grind,
Just
promoting.
got my notification.
Yeah, it went live. Yeah, it just
Yeah,
says live 26. It says live for 27 seconds on Facebook.
yeah. No, I just
So
got
it's
the
not.
notification. It said that you just went live. So
Oh, YouTube.
yeah, because I since I
Oh,
subscribed to you, like as soon as we went live, it like popped up on my phone saying mental illness just went live.
okay. Okay. Cool.
So
Cool.
it works.
Cool. I
Cool.
don't see my own self. Typically, I can hop on here and see my own self. It's just like live. You know, it's just like you were. Lee
I
Henry
haven't
was
been able
live.
to do that if I'm like logged in. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, there's 65 people watching. So what is going on, beautiful people? So let me see. Hold on, I had a few different windows up. What's going on, y'all? Larissa, hello, Lee. Hey, Lee. Amelia, what's going on? Amelia
Hello.
Cowan, what's going on,
What's
lady?
up,
How you
Scott?
doing? Hey, Scott Gilliard, what's going on, man? Amelia, what's going on, lady? How you doing? Meet me. What's up? How you doing? How things going for you? I know haven't
We got a
heard
lot
from
of
you in a
people.
while.
Hello back
Shoot me
from
a text.
Boston.
uh,
Awesome.
Thank
Hey,
you, Mr.
hey.
Lee. Nilda, finally catching your live. What's going on? Hey. So if y'all have any
First
questions
time
and things,
watching live. We got a first time viewer. What?
see, Dolce says,
Hey, hey.
hi Lee and Raw. They just short. Yes, your nickname Raw.
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 uh,
Chris Cassie, what's going on, lady? How
uh-huh.
you doing?
What's up, Chris?
What's going on, everybody? Hope y'all having a
Chris,
beautiful
you bring
day,
everybody
y'all.
over from TikTok?
Chris Cassie, where you at? Hey, Chris Cassie, we doing an East Coast meetup here pretty soon. You need to come through. I know you're on the East Coast.
Yep.
We don't know where it's gonna be at. Virginia, Carolina, somewhere. We somewhere on the East Coast. So Chris Cassie, be ready.
Yeah, we just gotta figure out. We gotta figure out with SJ because you two are actually pretty close. You and Bree, because I think she's in Raleigh.
Yeah, I think she probably lives about 20, 25 minutes from me, honestly. Yeah. So yeah,
I think really in one sense, like SJ's like the farthest away because I'm what, like 4 hours away from you.
Maybe I haven't looked at it. I know you said where you at. Because my mom lives in she lives in Danville, so she's in Virginia. You know.
Yeah, that's the other direction.
Hold on, yeah, I know. So I mean, it says 3 hours. It's 3. So
okay. So I think the
yeah,
other one
so
I just had to have to look up is probably SJ. I think she's probably the farthest away from us because she's in West Virginia.
So yeah, we're talking about if you're just tuning in, we're talking about doing an East Coast meetup. Houston, Texas. We're coming to Texas soon. We were there was a plan originally, but Texas kind of got thrown for a loop, y'all. Look, we're about to be traveling all over the country, all over the world doing this, y'all. Greetings from Virginia. Me too. So VA, you right down the street.
Yep.
See, because of your vids, Lee, I realized my hubby's a narcissist, and we will I be starting therapy soon. Your vids help me understand so much why he thinks what he thinks. Okay. Therapy helps. I mean, it could help if you allow it. You know.
Are we going or just I going? I wasn't sure which. Be careful if you're going with a narcissist.
Yeah. So if y'all are going together, be careful. You know. Texas for this. Look, there you go again, Ben. Look, Texas. They calling us.
Baltimore DC.
It's close
that's
by.
True. That's true. Like if we had you guys come up closer this direction, it would be closer to DC if people wanted to have it that way. I don't know.
She said we. She said we. So she said, I'm
gonna pull this question Jessica, back. I'd be really careful. I'd be really careful going to counseling together. A lot of times, depending what type of therapist or counselor you're going to, they might not always identify narcissism, and sometimes it can be used as a tool to be able to manipulate you more, or to be able to manipulate what the counselor says to be able to say like, hey, like, see, that's why I'm this way. Like, you're the reason why I'm this way. And they said so, that kind of thing. So just be careful. Like a lot of times you'll see it pretty quickly on in the therapy. Like you'll sit down, you'll be like, the person that's talking to my left, like, is not even the same person I even know or that I've been with. Or you'll see them clam up, or you'll see them walk out, or you'll see them like rage at you after you guys leave.
Yeah, there you go. It'd be an awkward car ride home, honestly. Just be careful with that. Because like y'all still living together, that's a little rough right there. You know what I mean? I know specifically when me and my wife went to marriage counseling. See, this is some honesty for y'all. Like when my wife had left, it's been almost 2 years now. So this next coming week is like triggering for me because my wife left me 2 years ago in a week, guys, and it hurt me to my core. You know, I came home, the house was empty. She sent me a text message when I was like 20 minutes from the house. She's like, "I won't be here when you get here." I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" You know, and we went to marriage counseling and things like that. So my hope was that she moved out. So my hope was that like I'm hoping that I can get her to marriage counseling and I can just convince her to come home because we'll be face to face in the same room. It'll work out. But you know, that shit was COVID had just started, so it was Zoom. I was like, so I had to like, she was at her friend's house talking, like, dude, she was talking shit over Zoom. I was like, I had to listen to that over Zoom, y'all. So like my plans did not work out, but my plan was to get her in the same room just so I could hopefully show her my emotion, wanting her to come home. So be careful with that, you know. But look, North Carolina, come on and raise up. I'm in Nikki Hyatt. I'm in North Carolina. Like I'm a real estate agent in North Carolina. So Nikki Hyatt, this is where I'm at. He will use it. Hold on. This question right. Can real narcissists actually hurt? Yes, I hurt. I hurt all the time. I think it's easy to me. To me, it's easy to hurt my feelings. Honestly, I mean, I would say I'm more of a. I know people when people see me, they don't believe this, but like I'm more of the vulnerable narcissist. Like it's not hard to hurt my feelings, but I rage out very easily. So it's not hard to hurt my feelings, but because who I am, I can rage out and kind of defend myself towards that. A lot of vulnerable narcissistic people, they can't, you know, they lead with their emotions, and their emotions are very, very fragile, and their egos are fragile as well, you know. So yes, I can hurt easy, you know, but I also can hurt back easy too. So
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we still have feelings and emotions. Just most of the time with the narcissist, like they don't know how to respond to it, and then most emotions they don't know how to process. So it's easier just to throw out rage because it's a simple one to attach everything to.
Yep. I can rage out. I feel like that's always been my go-to is like rage. I feel like because especially as a man, you just feel like screaming and yelling can get the job done and get people to shut up. Like if I scream loud enough and I make enough noise, people will shut up and listen to me. That's how I always felt. I just like if I scream loud enough, I just go crazy enough. Because like I remember when I first met my wife and I brought her around my family, and I was just like, please, y'all, just be cool, you know. But they, my family, they just like they kind of rough too. They're just like, hey, he like we will be real with you. He funny as hell. He's gonna get you. He gonna make you laugh. But please do not get him mad because he's gonna go crazy. And she thought it was funny. She's like, oh, he is funny. He's hilarious. He makes me laugh. But the bad part, she hadn't seen that yet. They're like, oh, he doesn't get mad at anything. Yes.
Right.
Hadn't got to that point yet.
Yeah, Kobe putting stuff in about like trauma bonds and things like that. Seen like a bunch of those comments. So trauma bonds are definitely like really, really hard to break. That's kind of one of the big areas that like I focus on whenever I'm talking to people, just dealing with like the stories that they're telling themselves, how it matches up to the facts, and then really like what's going on underneath. Like what do we need to change the story to kind of rewire our brains and rewire our minds. And with like narcissism and narcissistic abuse, that's something that is often hard for like people to be able to see sometimes. Like sometimes they don't even know like what's going on. So we do have coming up next week, Wednesday, a week from today, we're going to be doing a webinar that's going to be put on by Stronger Than Before. So webinar next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we're both going to be on it along with 4 other panelists that we're super excited about. And the title of that is going to be How to Identify and Overcome Narcissistic Abuse. So check out the link in either one of our bios, just to be able to secure your spot to be able to come see.
Yep, there you go. So April 6th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, y'all. How to recognize and overcome narcissistic abuse, trauma bonds. Me and Ben are going to be on there. So me and Ben will be on it. 2 therapists, counselors who have also been with narcissists and helped people get through narcissistic abuse, and 2 coaches who have dealt with narcissists who are currently divorcing narcissists. Both of them are divorcing narcissists right now. Can help you out through that as well. So there's April 6th. The link is in my bio. If y'all follow Ben at Raw Motivations, the link is in his bio as well. There's a question I saw in here a few seconds ago.
That...
Yeah, I was just like, I saw it and I was just like, dang it, I like that question. But Chris
So I
Cass,
think I figured something out last time I was looking in this program. Is there actually is a way to like add another user? So I think we'd be able to like find somebody and add another user where they could like
really?
throw questions up for us, which would be really cool.
Oh, nice. That'd be cool because I'm trying to scroll and read at the same time because there's
Right.
some good questions on here. Okay, this is one I was seeing right here. So, how did your wife know you were being genuine, and where are actually working on yourself? I feel like we both can attest to this question, right? So I'm gonna let you knock this one out first, Ben.
Yeah, so I think like with that, there's definitely like a big aspect of being honest. You know, like the honesty was something that was not forefront in my mind at all and hadn't been, you know, throughout the whole relationship. So getting to the place of like being honest and then showing her that I was like putting in the work and not just like showing like, you know, flippantly or anything like that, but like having to communicate extra, having to show like, hey, like I'm going to therapy, I'm working on myself, but then also on like the day-to-day basis, like I'm changing my own behavior and how I interact with her, how I respond. And, you know, that is also just time because like that trust takes time to build back up for sure.
Mhm. So I've seen Ben personally putting in work, y'all. Ben is putting in work behind the scenes too, not just in front of y'all. Ben is putting in work behind the scenes as well. So with my story, so I would say this right here because like this is gonna sound. I know that people like when you see narcissists talking, you're like you're lying, Lee. But like honestly, like so I've had a track record of doing what I say. I know narcissistic people lie a lot, but if I say I'm going to do something, like if I set a goal for myself to hit, I would hit that goal. So I have a track record of doing that. So I say, hey, look, I'm going to quit my job and I'm gonna get a better job. I do that. Hey, I'm going to, I'm going to be an actor and get on TV. I've done that. I'm
Mhm.
going to go back to school somehow and get a degree while working full time with 2 kids. And I've done that. So I have a track record of doing what I say I'm going to do. I have a legit track record of doing exactly what I said I'm going to do. So when she threw the word narcissist at me, and I looked it up and I said, there's no cure for narcissism. There's no cure for narcissistic personality disorder. Hey, but you can go to therapy. I was like, hey, look, you know what? Nobody can tell me what to do. So I'm going to go to therapy and be the best narcissist ever. I told her that, and I know it sounds weird, but I literally told her that, like, this is my goal to be the best narcissist ever, and that doesn't mean I'm going to be a bad person. I'm going to be a better person.
Mhm.
And she believed that, and so I've been in therapy since October 2017, doing this, going forward, moving forward with this right here. Just
Mhm.
going forward. So I have a track record of doing big things that I say I'm going to do. Ask yourself this question right here: have they done what they said they're going to do before? Like, do you have any reason to believe that they're going to change at all or put in any kind of work effort, point blank, period? I know Ben had been rising. So Ben himself has been rising in his career before therapy, before doing all this other stuff as well. He's been setting goals for himself and hitting those marks. So Ben has a track record of doing what he says he's going to do. Does your person have that same thing? Ask yourself that question. Have they ever, they told me they were going to walk their dog. They didn't do it. Like, if they can't do little stuff like that, why do you think they're going to do something big, like go to therapy and work on it? Because Ben can attest to
Right.
this. Therapy tough. Therapy is not an easy thing. Therapy is like,
It
ugh,
sucks half the
I
time.
had sometimes, yeah, like going there and being honest to somebody like that sucks,
Mhm.
it really does. So somebody says, how do you combat the reverse Hoover? So if y'all don't know what the reverse Hoover is, it's when like a narcissist just leaves you alone,
Mhm.
just goes completely no contact on you. And then you end up breaking no contact and you to reach out to them. So in
Right.
essence, you suck yourself back into the relationship. How do you combat that? Don't reach out. Be done. Like, literally be done. Like, I know it's easier said than done. Like, be done with the
Mhm.
person you have 3 kids with. Be done with the person you've been married to 10 years for. Be done with that person right now.
Right.
Don't ever love them again. It's easy to say that, isn't it? But those words are easy to say and the words are easy to convey, but the actions behind those words are harder to put into play. So,
Yeah, and
ask
I think it's
yourself.
like the idea I think it's like the idea too of like the reverse Hoover, like combating that is like you have to understand and like know the facts of the situation. Like you have to be able to acknowledge like, hey, this person hurt and abused me and they walked away. Like they knew what they needed to offer you to change, to be better, to stay, and they didn't do that. They walked away. And so the idea of like combating the reverse Hoover is like changing like your mindset, changing your thought process that you don't need their validation, that you don't need to go back to them to get love or anything like that. And a lot of times that's what people are looking at.
Mhm. It's like I said, to me, I agree with Ben. Like, just ask yourself the questions: is it worth giving them a 19th chance? Like, y'all have been through this rodeo, because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
one of the most common phrases that I hear when I'm doing one-on-ones is, "We've been on and off for this set period of time." I'm like, on and off. Why? I was, I ask her like, why have y'all been off? What causes the off periods? You know, they break up with me, they do this, they do that, blah blah blah. I'm like, look, what causes the off periods? You know,
Mm-hmm.
da, da, da. Hold on. Oh, I just read that one. You can imagine. You guys are rare. A lot of narcs are going to do what you are doing. Yeah. So I will
Yeah.
agree with that right there. Most narcissistic people won't do what we are doing. But you know what? If you decide to send, like, if you decide to, like, hey, I just found raw motivations on Instagram, right? This guy is just, he's been honest with the world. He's telling people what he's been doing. He's trying to help change the world. He's been honest with himself. Hey, babe, follow this guy. And I follow Ben, right? And I just pick up on what Ben's doing. I just say what Ben's saying. Hey, look, I'm not trying to hoover you. I'm actually trying to change. This is not gaslighting. This is actual change right here. I'm gonna use what Ben says to manipulate you. That's why I say, don't, if you send your person our stuff, be prepared just in case they do something like that, because they can use what we say and manipulate you with it. I would, honestly, I would do it, because it would be simple. Because, like, oh God, Ben is, hey, Ben is right. Good, Ben. Hey, Ben Taylor, you changed my life. Hey, I'm not gonna gaslight my wife anymore. You know, to me, it'd be so simple. Just take the videos and just do that type of stuff. That's what I say.
Yeah.
It's like the Fight Club. Learning about self-aware narcissism is kind of like the fight club. We don't really share it with people who are not ready to hear it. You know, just be careful with that, y'all.
Hey
Mm-mm-mm.
Jules. She's jumped in.
Jules is in.
Yep. That
Hey
was that
guys.
was interesting. That was my first skit that I've done with her the other day.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, there you go. So what are some of the things you do as a narc? What do you mean? So I feel like you gotta get specific with that one right there. I do a lot of things as a like this. What I'm doing right now, my whole platform is as a narcissist. I think when people see the stuff that I'm doing, you think I'm presenting myself as a healed narcissist, as a recovered narcissist, but I'm not. I tell y'all that repeatedly. I was like, hey, I'm still a narcissist, because this is just me. To me, I've accepted the fact I can't get rid of this. It's here. It's a disorder. Something happened to me, y'all, that made me who I am. But it doesn't determine who I have to be. I can
Mhm.
morph this into, like I said, I just feel like me and Ben are like, in, if y'all know X-Men, like we are just in Professor X's class of school of gifted youngsters. I mean, we just in there just like learning. It's a superpower to me, honestly. That's how I have to view it. I don't view it. Somebody put it in my comment section today. It's a lifelong disability. Like, is it? I don't feel like I'm
Right.
disabled. I feel like I'm more than able to, process emotions, and just kind of, I feel like I don't like to waste emotions. Honestly, I just feel like if it's not worth my emotional energy, I don't apply it. Where other people are just like, I'm gonna try to save the world at this and sacrifice myself at the same moment. You know,
Right.
those are just my thoughts on it. Oh man, me too. I don't know. And this is a question to make you think right here, man. Can a narcissist consciously choose not to manipulate? What do you think on that one?
Yeah. Because it's a conscious choice either way. I either choose to manipulate you or I choose not to. But it's
Mhm.
not necessarily just the choice that's the issue. It's thought process and a story behind it that is going to be, is it going to be more automatic or is it going to be intentional? But yeah, there's a choice.
Well, there you go. I agree with that one. So this is a good one right here. I like questions that can feel like we could apply to both of us.
Right.
It said, do you still go through a narcissistic cycle with your wives? How do you break the cycle? So me personally right here, so I feel like that question kind of caves in on itself because you ask, do we still go through the cycle? But then how do we break the cycle? So if I say yes, I go through the cycle, then I haven't broken it, you know. So I still go through the cycle with her now, but she's more aware of it. Like I said, self-awareness doesn't just work for narcissists, it works for empaths, codependents, victims, survivors, and thrivers as well. Self-awareness for everybody, you know. So like I still go through the narcissistic cycle now. My mind, my not the side. I'm not discarding my wife now. I just feel like it got to that point, you know. Me personally, I feel like I'm on my last strike with my marriage, so to speak. You know, I just feel like if it doesn't work
Same.
now, it's over. You know, I just like
Right.
if she leaves again, like I'm just like, look, shit, we done. You know, like we gave it the old college try. You know, and we worked as hard as we could, and it'll be done. But like, I feel like the cycle. I don't go through the cycle anymore now. I just feel like it's on a I feel like it's more linear now. I feel like back in the day, yeah, it was on the cycle, the ups and downs, but right now I feel like it's more linear. Is there a bump? Is there still bumps in the road? You know, I still do the gaslighting and stuff like that because I told you, Ben, I've been leaving a note on the board for her every single morning. Since she came back home, whatever. That's my way of showing affection. And sometimes I forget. Sometimes I be moving around. I be doing too much trying to get my son to school, sneezing, snotting, everybody coughing in the house. I'm just like, God. I'm like, damn. And I'll forget. And she's just like, you didn't leave a note this morning. I'm like, yeah, you read the note. You said it to you. You read a note back to me. You know, it's just impulse to lie and this is trying to gaslight. I'm like, she's like, no, no, you didn't. I got it. I'm like, okay, damn. I didn't leave a note. I'm sorry. I'm just, I'm overwhelmed. It sucks to admit that, but like I admitted it, you know.
I think you got a Facebook spammer going on in the comments here.
What is it saying?
They're like commenting the same thing on everything. The Roja Milla.
This life narcissism so wicked. Oh, okay.
I've seen like 8 of the same things.
Oh, okay. I see it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. Appreciate that.
But yeah, I think like with like the cycles, like it's a little bit different. Like it's not like we're going through that complete cycle, but I would say like we still have like narcissistic tendencies. Like it's not like we're all of a sudden like healed. It's like no, there's like active stuff that like we struggle with on the same day-to-day basis, whether that's like our thought process or whether that's how we communicate or whether that's different triggers that we're still working through. That's not always like easy to figure out. So there's the idea of like breaking the cycle is the aspect of becoming self-aware that either we can stop those things, like we can kind of like pause like that moment of rage or that moment of frustration, or it's where like our wives can actually say something and like call us out and we don't go to that dark place and we're able to kind of take a step back and be like, wait a second. And so that's be the aspect I would say as far as like breaking the cycle.
Yeah, I love that right there, what you just said, because like I feel like the way our wives are right now, I feel like people. So honestly, I'm gonna say this because I know my wife. She's voiced this to me. She's like, people think I'm weak for staying with you. You know, she says that all the time. She'll say that. She's like, people think I'm just some weak woman for sticking through this and staying through this and being with a narcissist and stuff like that. But she just says, like, I know I'm not weak. It's like I'm aware of everything that's going on now, and I see the effort that you're putting in. Like, if you do some crazy shit, I wouldn't be here. Like, I know now because also you in the public eye, I can embarrass you. And like, can you? Like, if you embarrass me, I'd just be like, hey, I told you I was going to do this, y'all. I can say that, but I'm not going to say that. I'm not trying to downgrade her or disrespect her or anything like that. But that's how it is. Hold on. You're just a better person. What did it say? The North I was with would say, you're just a better person than me. If I told him the way he should behave, do either of you think that way?
No, not really.
No, I say I would think that way. I don't think that way. I would just say that in the self-deprecating manner to make you feel like make you feel guilty for saying that. Like, you're just better than me. I'm sorry, I don't know how to behave. Just a way to kind of like, just to try to stab myself with my own sword. You're like, no. I'm not better than you. I'm just trying to get you to understand where I'm coming from. You lose. Because if somebody says you're just a better person than me, and you don't automatically agree with that, then you're agreeing with the opposite. If you don't agree with them saying that, then you're agreeing with the opposite. That's a subtle manipulation tactic right there, y'all. That's how self-deprecation. They just got, oh, I'm just such a terrible person. I'll never be good enough for anybody. Everybody always abandons me. You see those statements right there? They make you feel guilty.
Right.
Those self-deprecation.
Instead, the proper response is, yes, you are a terrible person.
Yeah.
Good job for acknowledging that.
Agree with like, so if you agree with this statement, you win. You're like, I am a better person than you. So use discretion if you agree
with safety.
Yeah, they'll get mad as hell. It's just like, what? You see any questions in particular, Ben? You want me to pop out?
There's like literally there's like every single one. It's like crazy.
Yeah. I saw the first
part of it.
I saw the first part of this one. I was like, I gotta reply to this one. When you watch a movie, do you relate more to the villain or the protagonist? Do you cheer for the good guy? So this is my personal take on this, y'all. Not always. Like, if it's like the X-Men, people are like, who is your favorite X-Men? I'll say Magneto. I love Magneto. Magneto, like, yo, people hate Magneto trying to destroy the world. Like, look what Magneto went through in his childhood. Y'all don't understand what he went through. That's why he's trying to tear shit up. Nobody, watch the X-Men movies. I love Magneto. I root for I root for the misunderstood villains. That's how I do. That's what I would say. I vibe with the Dark Knight. I vibe with the Joker. I'm like, look, other than 86 and everybody, I like, hey, the Joker got a point right here, y'all. Like, hey, listen to him.
That's funny. Yeah, I feel like I don't always like identify with the villain. I normally identify with the loner. So like if the villain's the lone wolf, or like the person that's like on their own, or if it's the protagonist, I probably get more like that. I don't necessarily think I like cheer for the good guy. I think there's at times like with like movies that I cheer for like some type of like perfection or like ideal love of like, oh, like that's perfect, that kind of a thing, but not necessarily like good or bad.
Yes. But I just like I said, I'll always mess with Magneto though. I just like, I don't know. My wife point like this is early on in our relationship. This is like a red flag. I think she thinks it's a red flag now. I would always be rooting for the bad guys that were misunderstood. Not the bad guys like Patrick, like Patrick Bateman, American Psycho. I wasn't rooting for him. I understood him. I wasn't rooting for him, like, go get him, Patrick. I was just like,
right.
So Scott Gillian, what's going on, man? Why will my ex refuse to admit she's with someone new? So there's a few reasons behind that. I'll hit one of them. So one reason I wouldn't admit to being with someone new, because it would just sometimes I think you would if I'm trying to hold on to you, you will release me. I couldn't use you as a backup anymore. It's just like, damn, Scott, like, no, I'm not with anybody else. Who told you this? Like, I would gaslight you to the highest of heavens. I would, this is 93 gas I'm putting on you. I'm trying to gaslight the steam off of you. Like, because I don't want you to know, because I feel like if you know, you will leave me alone. You will cut me off, or whatnot. So there will be a way of me losing a potential backup supply type person,
Yeah. Yeah, like definitely just like trying to like save that image, save that face by not admitting, just to try to prolong that in one sense. Yeah.
I just feel like that's one of the things I would do. Because the world is new. She said the villain laugh that comes from Lee. What laughing? What villain laugh? What are you talking about? This is a hero laugh. So now I vibe with Dexter now. No. So Dexter Morgan is my boy. I like, hey, Dexter. So y'all be you be on your moral high horse. You be like, Dexter killed people. I'm like, Dexter was taking out the bad guys. That were, I love Dexter. Just because he was what I do, what Dexter does. No, y'all, they're like, Lee, you a psychopath. No, I would not do what Dexter does. But I get it. I root for Dexter. I want him to get caught and go. I know that's a new series, some kind of new blood Dexter out right now. I haven't seen yet, but like, I didn't want Dexter to go into the woods and become a damn logger. I didn't want him to become Paul Bunyan, y'all. If y'all have it, you seen Dexter been? Have you seen Dexter before?
I've only seen like an episode or two. I haven't watched it.
I think you would like Dexter because Dexter, Dexter just met. Look, I'm telling you, my wife knew all of the red flags. Like I used to be all on Dexter. Yeah, we watched it together. She hates watching TV shows with me now. I'll say stuff like that. She's like, "Why you say stuff like that?" I'm like, I thought you wanted me to be more honest.
Right.
What's the longest? Appreciate the donation, Remnant. I like that name. You spaced it out, Remnant. What's the longest both of you have gone without having a narc moment? So, what is it? I just feel like what is a narc moment?
Narc moment.
Yeah, what is a narc moment?
I feel like we just need to like stand here and like hold our breath and count. I mean, because it's really hard to define that. Like, what's a narc moment? Like, is it like your mind? Because if not, like that's a tough one.
I see what
because
people.
there's constantly stuff like going on.
I think what people consider narc moments are people like gaslighting and lying and cheating and those things like that, which other people could do. But Remnant, if you want to add to that, I'll pull this back up. What do you think? What would you consider a narc moment? I want to make sure I specifically look up, which I want to answer your question specifically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I can see that as far as like, someone put in the comment like rage out or maybe gaslight or lie or stuff like that.
So as far as raging out, I can tell you I went almost a whole year without raging out. I did, you know what I mean? I went a whole year without raging out. Like, and I know that I can tell you when I raged out the last time because we was downstairs in this little room right here, and my kids, like, I had my studio lights. I have these like expensive studio lights I have for my acting auditions. I was like, hey, look, y'all sit your asses down. I could hear them. I was mounting the TV in my son's room. I was like, y'all, I seen the light tip over. I can see. I'm like, hey, sit down. Don't break my light, y'all. Just y'all can play. Don't break my light. 2 minutes later, bling. Sit the fuck down. Like, it's just like my wife like, stop yelling. Like, shut the fuck. Yeah, I'm yelling at her now. Like, she gets it. Everybody gets it. And then I remember that because I told my therapist about that. Like, I was ashamed. I was like, hey, so at least I raged out last week. She was like, what happened? She's like, don't tell me what happened. What did you say? I told her what I said. She's like, "What?" I like, why didn't you ask me what happened? She was like, what happened is unimportant. What you said is more important. She's like, what did you say while you were yelling and screaming? I was like, nobody in the house listens to me. Nobody appreciates what I say, what I do. She's like, why don't you tell them that before you rage out? You bottled that stuff up because you been like in your childhood, you had to learn how to stifle your emotions, stifle what you really wanted because people would hold it against you. She's like, if you bottle up any type of emotion later on, it will come out as rage. It's like you put anything in the bottle. If you put a beautiful butterfly in the bottle, let's say that butterfly represents happiness. If you put that beautiful happiness butterfly in the bottle, you put the top on it, it suffocates and dies. All your emotions die, and a dead emotion is rage. And she's like, if you don't let that emotion out, regardless of what it is, it dies. I was like, damn. Well, I was actually, feeling underappreciated because I do a lot of stuff around this house, and that's how it goes.
That's good.
Yeah. And she told me that. I was like, yo, whew. So here you go, right here. No gaslighting, no rage, no stonewalling, no triangulation. There you go. She said it.
Yeah. No, I'd say like it's been a while. I feel like there's like different aspects of it too. So like the no rage, like that's been a good while. No stonewalling, yeah. No triangulation, that's been close to like I don't know, year and a half, wherever it is, but like a while. The gaslighting, that one's probably the harder one for me because that one's sometimes like even like habitual. But the thing is like being able to call it out myself or being able to have my wife call it out. So it's a little bit different. It's not like it's like a free pass on gaslighting. It's more or less like it'll happen and she'll be like, wait, what are you saying? Like you're gaslighting me right now. And I'm like, oh yeah, crap. Like sometimes it's just like almost like innate or like a second nature of like she'll say something, I'll say something, I'll be wrong, and then she'll correct me and be like, "Oh yeah, that's what I was saying." Even though like that wasn't what I was saying, but like that's just kind of like my defense mechanism, I guess you could say.
Yo, I heard you say that, so that makes a lot of sense too. With going on along the lines of why people can stay with with us right now, because she's not afraid to check you right now. Because like you said earlier, I think my wife understands like this is our last rodeo right here. Like if it don't work out this time, we'll go our separate ways. I think she understands that as well. Like I understand
Yeah.
it. Cool, I'm good. I mean, will it hurt my feelings? Like people think like Lee, you have no emotions. Like if my wife walked in here right now, I'm talking to you, being like, hey, what's up, baby? I'm leaving you. Damn. I would champion through this, y'all, and finish the live. But would I be mad? Yes. would I be angry? Yes. But I would understand that. And would I hold on to hope? No, I would be a terrible person, y'all. So I hopefully for the world, she doesn't let me go, y'all. That's the warning. That's my warning shot to the world. I'm joking, y'all. Scott, what did you say? Scott, are you in North Carolina? You just said something about Carolina barbecue. So my wife used to be an advertising executive for Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue, and it's all around North Carolina. She used to handle the billboards and stuff like that. So North Carolina barbecue is some of the best in the world, y'all. So there you go. She said, "Holding your breath." She responded, "You been."
I can see how long we can go without having a nice moment. Hold your breath.
But that's actually a breathing exercise with Tony Robbins. You have to learn how to hold your breath longer. So I can hold my breath for pretty long, y'all. I'm over a minute now. So my ex was a narcissist. He talked badly about his exes. He broke up with hold on, let me read this again. My ex was a narcissist. He talked badly about his exes. He broke up with them. Oh, with him. Okay. So, I stopped for a second there. I'm like, wait, this sounds gay. But he's like, it sounds like the guy might be gay. He's like, but with him, he came out as gay. Could it be saying he?
Could it be he is saying he is gay because of me?
Okay, let me read this slow again. So Jessica, if you want to rewrite that one, I'll be happy. My ex,
I guess
narcissist.
he talks bad about his exes, like his past. He talks bad, and he broke up with all of them when he came out to be gay. Is he saying that because of this person?
Yeah.
Because of
So I
Jessica?
think the first he, the second he, I think it meant to be an I. So my ex was a narcissist. He talked badly about his exes. I broke up with him because I broke up with him. Then he came out as gay. Could it be he saying he is gay because of me? So yes, he could be saying he's gay because of you, but is he gay because of you? No, he's not gay because of you. You know, I don't think gayness is who's been who you are. I don't think gayness is a choice you can just make. Like, you know what, today I'm gay. I want a man. I just know I don't think it's a choice. You know what I mean? But is taking my husband to therapy worth it? He smear campaigns me often.
Probably not. If he's smear campaigning you, he doesn't really care.
Yeah, I just feel like the smear campaign is an example of what will happen, whether or not if you decide not to go to therapy. Hey y'all, your name is S. I'm gonna just call you Sugar. Hey y'all, I tried to get Sugar to go to therapy, and you know what? Like a modern woman, she didn't go to therapy. She didn't want to give me a chance to go to therapy. She's a terrible person, an awful wife. So could it be worth it? Like, could you, receipt? Okay, sorry, y'all. Got a real estate deal going on my Apple Watch. It's like the smear. If he smear campaigns you often, can you even trust him to keep anything to himself?
Right.
Like, if he's gonna go blast you everywhere, then what's the point? That's just my thoughts on it. You know, I just feel like if you're gonna smear campaign you, then what's the point of it? You know what I mean? Let me check this one out.
Is it normal to be proud of not being empathetic and not caring about people's feelings? Wouldn't you want to hide that?
So, me personally, where I'm at right now, I just feel like I'm not proud to be not empathetic, but I'm just proud just to be able to kind of shut my emotions off. Sorry, because sometimes I feel like showing emotions can just how I was raised. It's like showing emotions can be viewed as a sign of weakness. So if you cry in front of me, I was like, I got you. I win. You cried. You are defeated. Me personally, right now, I don't even want to hide it now. Who I am. It's freeing to be able to be honest with my mind, with my thought process. To talk to y'all, to talk to Ben and be open. Talk to Ben and be open. Like it's so backwards. Talk to Ben and be open.
Right.
It's freeing to me. A lot of people are ashamed of saying stuff like that. So to me, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think that now there's more of a choice of choosing to care. There's an aspect of choosing to care about other people's feelings, because I think there's an aspect of being more aware of other people's feelings. We can identify it, but it's more of a choice of if we want to accept that or not.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he buckled with me. There you go. I think it's for both of us. You help so many people. There you go. You're welcome.
That's awesome.
Hey guys, there you go. And also, yes, thank you, Rosalind. Book your one-on-ones with me and Ben. Thank you for the shout out.
Yeah. While we're doing shout outs, we've got coming up next week, April 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're both going to be on a webinar. Check out, we've got links in both of our bios. But Stronger Than Before is putting on a webinar. What did you just put in the chat?
Oh, I'm trying to put my link in there. You know how you have your iPhone, you can put certain buttons, like certain combinations. QQQ is my link for my short term.
It didn't auto populate. Yeah.
For the link.
Yeah. So we have it coming up. So Stronger Than Before. You can see the link that's in the bio. You all click on that and go and grab some tickets to be able to come. But it's going to be a week from today at 7 p.m. Eastern time. How to identify and overcome narcissistic abuse. We got 2 different counselor therapists. We got 2 other people who are in the craziness. They're coaches. They're also going through high stress divorces at the same time, and then you got the 2 of us that are going to be on there as well. So come check it out.
Spitting fire question and answer session during the April 6th 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like I said, somebody asking how do you book one-on-ones between me and Ben. My link is in my bio. Ben has a website you can book through his www.rawmotivations.com. I'm putting that in the comment section as well. She wet Sherry. How many people do you guys think are full-blown narcissists? Some of these people could just be jerks, but everyone having a full narc story is scary.
I think there's more people than what the percentages say, because the percentages, I think, are skewed based on people who actually want to get diagnosed.
Mm-hmm. So in a position right there, I think a lot of people who say that are just like, not you in particular, Sherry, but some people who say that are just like, hey, not everybody's a narcissist. Y'all, I feel like everybody just throwing it. Some people could just be jerks. But yeah, so does it matter if they are narcissists or just a regular run-of-the-mill jerk if they're not willing to change, adapt, or get some kind of help for their behaviors that are making you uncomfortable and making you feel traumatized and making you feel helpless? Does it really matter if they're a narcissist or just a jerk? So when people say they're a narcissist, they're not diagnosing them. I can't diagnose anybody. Ben can't diagnose anybody. What you're describing what you're doing is describing the behaviors. You're just saying, hey, this person lacks empathy. This person has a grandiose sense of self. This person, you might be just rattling off the traits of narcissistic personality disorder. You're describing their behaviors. So if they're not willing to change or alter them, then does it matter if they're just a jerk? You'll be with a jerk for a long term. Nene kisses, appreciate it. I made a narcissist and was in a relationship for 2 years, and I feel like maybe I was the narc in my past relationships, or do I feel like that due to the trauma? So, I feel like getting out of a narcissistic relationship. A lot of people say have that same statement right there, where they say, "I feel like I was a narcissist." Could you be could you be a narcissist? So I feel like answer these questions right here honestly. Are you willing to go to therapy to deal with it? If you are, you know, do you want to put the work in? Are you willing to alter the behaviors that made you feel narcissistic? You know, if you can say, yeah, I'm willing to alter those behaviors and I'm willing to go to therapy to work on it, then you might not be a narcissist. Chances are you
Right.
are not, you know.
Yeah, I think a lot of times you have like past trauma that ends up coming out and it ends up being a thing that seems like narcissistic and seems like what's the term? Like people call it like narcissistic fleas, I think a lot of times where you
Yeah.
pick up like small
Yeah.
traits and small attributes. But the difference is like you pick those up in the moment as a survival mechanism,
Mhm.
as far as a way to manipulate the situation so that you don't get, beat or so that you don't get hurt even more, and it's
Mhm.
not an aspect of like, hey, like you're in the relationship now and you're manipulating. It's more or less like, hey, you're surviving, you're trying to figure out what's the best way to survive. And the difference is that type of manipulation or like narcissistic fleas kind of a thing is the idea that behind it is not the idea underneath of like manipulation and just thinking of yourself and getting at other people, but it's the idea of survival. I think that's the
Mhm.
difference.
Yeah. Always ask yourself, what is the intention behind your actions? That'll tell you a lot. That'll tell you a lot right there. Why do narcs spread smear campaigns? Why do family narcs spread smear campaigns?
Maybe to like look better. That's really one of the main ones with both family and like regular in one sense, but like to look better to kind of like one up somebody. Um,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. The narcissist family typically knows who they are. I remember earlier I told you who, but my family knows exactly who I am. It's like, hey, he funny as hell. He'll have you dying laughing. But if you get him mad, you won't. The jokes won't be funny anymore.
Hmm.
So they know, like the family knows who they are most of the time. So my family does because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just being me. I didn't know I was a narcissist. I was literally just living my life. And family typically are going to be enablers of the person. They're not going to defend you because you're not their family. They don't know you. You could be a stranger right there. Tara Fox, appreciate it. Narc of 3 years, physically abused and cheated many times. After I finally left him, I slept with his ex-friend months later. Woof. He found out in key. No, I'm not Tara. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at how soft that is right there. That man put his hands on you, cheated on you, and keyed your car. I filed a restraining order. Why would he do all of this?
Hmm.
Oh my god, y'all, that's so soft. You hurt his ego. I feel like this is simple right here. Straight to the point. You hurt that man's
Right.
ego so much. Dear God. I slept with his ex-friend months later. You hurt his feelings.
Hmm.
That's a shot to the ego. Dear God, that hurts. That's like sleeping with his brother. Like I slept with his brother. Whew. The pain, because
Hmm.
not only does he lose you, he got to lose a friend too. You don't want to be friends with
Right.
him before. So there's a double loss right there. So yeah, you fought fire with fire right there. You fought uh, a cigarette lighter with a flamethrower to him right there. You know, you burned him. You gave him some hot fire right there. So I wasn't laughing at you, y'all. I was Tara. I promise you, I wasn't laughing at you. I was just laughing at him. I promise you. He said, "Key your car." That's so soft. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, look who's in here.
Hmm. Hey, look at
Custom B milkshake. What's going on, lady? Is that why everyone goes back to them? So, so she said this. Miss Angel said, also good in bed because they know you'll get hooked on that. Not to toot my own horn, but no, I'm just joking. She said, "Is that why everyone goes back to them?" It really just depends. Some people are not sexually, some people are not, so this is just it really just depends. Yeah, it really does.
I think
Mm-mm-mm.
most people, when they take a hard look at it, when they're not in the high of an affair or like cheating or like sneaking around, like we're not, when they're not like on the high of it, they're probably like, whoa, like this person actually, wasn't that great, but I, put it higher in my mind because of how they made
Mhm.
me feel, how they made me think, how they talk to me, like all this type of stuff.
Yeah. Yep. And so when it's the sex is, so is it that good, or is it your only connection to the person? Do you only feel connection to that person in the act of, the sexual experience with that person? You know what I mean? Why does everyone go back to them? Hold on. She's answering questions. Cluster B is in the. Sorry, y'all. I should turn my watch off. Huge part. She said, Cluster B Milkshake, y'all. If y'all don't haven't followed Cluster B Milkshake, check her out. She's another self-aware narcissist. She got some stuff going on over there. She's how about people in long distance relationships, parents and siblings? People go back to them when sex isn't involved. Yeah. Sometimes it's the emotions. Yeah, it's not
Right.
always sex. It could it be sex? Yeah. But sometimes it's just the emotional connection, or sometimes it's the obligation. Well, like what she just said, parents, siblings, sometimes you feel obligated to go back to those people because you only get one mom.
Hmm.
You only get one dad. This is your brother. This is your sister. Don't cut them off. But you're a terrible person. So when you cut a family member off, you might have to cut multiple family members off. It might actually be your mom. You might have to cut your brothers off. Hey, hey, bro, you ain't talking to mama no more. Mama said you ain't talk to her no more. Got to cut your brothers off. So it's like dominoes when you're dealing with your family.
Right.
You know,
There's a good one in there, Rashad Galt, I
dude,
think it was.
I was looking right at
Yep.
it. I was reading it. Now that you guys are self-aware of the narcissistic behavior, do you guys ever feel the need to or have actually apologized to former friends or partners? I gotta answer that. I'm gonna drop another one first, Ben.
Yeah, so like with this, I wanted you to throw it up there since we had some people on TikTok coming after us saying that we've never apologized or anything like that. And for me, like it's kind of like maybe 50-50 in one sense. And some of that is on the aspect that there is some that there was some communication after the fact. There is some type of apology that I've like gone back to or like apologized as I was becoming aware and things like that. There's a couple others that never had the opportunity. Some of that, like one of them in particular, was one that like went no contact and completely like ghosted and blocked me and everything. So there's no opportunity to do that. There's no way to. And another one that I was with for a very short period of time didn't like care. So like that was kind of like, yeah, but like there's been several that I've gone back and like apologized to. The first affair that I had, like we actually like both like apologized and like confessed it all at the same time. Like to our pastor, and that didn't go over so well. But like, otherwise, like there has been times that I've tried to, make those apologies of amends as best I can.
All right. Well, perfect. So me personally, I just feel like going back and apologizing to people because I've been married for 6 years. I've been in a relationship for 10 years. Like it's been over a decade. I just feel like going back to apologize to people could re-traumatize people. They might have gotten over me. Like I've healed from. Imagine like you've healed from narcissistic abuse, y'all. You've remarried, you got kids, you're living your happy life, and then guess what? You've been no contact for 10 years. And then that narcissist in your life has started a YouTube channel or TikTok and it's blown up and wants to apologize to you. How do you feel in that moment? Do you feel like you could feel good, like, damn, they came back and apologized. They actually changed for the good, or it could re-traumatize you. Like, why couldn't you do this for me? You see how that works right there? So I just feel like my apology to everybody is being a better person now and moving forward in my life. This is how I feel, but it could be different for everybody. Mm-mm-mm. I love you guys. Thank you, S Sugar. We love you too. Thank you. We love you as much as narcissists can love. Can narcissists love? Can we love? Can you? Can we? Can we? There's a question y'all have to answer. I'm gonna scroll down. Ashley Norton, what's going on, homie? How you doing? Ashley has court. You had court today, Ashley, didn't you? Oh, I was like, wait. I know, Ashley. I was like, wait, you had court today. My ex keeps doing a continuance for our divorce, and he's in therapy and he's trying. I told him that it's good. Maybe he will be faithful to the next supply. So yeah, he's trying to continue that so he can show you that he's putting the work in. He's like, hey, girl, I'm trying my hardest, but if you want to get divorced, keep moving forward. I just feel like the lesser. I know you just had a baby too. The less contact, the better. If you want to move forward, because yeah, the therapy. that's continuing the divorce or whatever. That's just try to suck you back in. And then I had a woman I talked to today. She could have annulled her marriage. She could have got an annulment, but the narcissist love bombed her and came back in there and made her drop the annulment. And then it went past the timeline for annulment, so he could try to get some alimony. So now he's trying to hit it in the head for alimony during the divorce. People make plans. But Ashley, you know you can inbox me anytime, girl. Hold on, Nicole. Thank you. Just want to say thank you both of you for all this. You both have helped me unwrap things through platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Ben's app. Hey, shout out to the Narc app.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Nicole. Appreciate it.
Thanks for what you're doing. Hey, you got a shout out for the Narc app. I love that right there. Hey.
That's awesome. Yeah, if y'all haven't checked it out, you can get it on Apple or Google Play. So it is the Narc app, NARC, Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Community, and there's people on there, like-minded people.
Look, right there. Look right there.
So like-minded people that are on there trying to work on their healing, trying to track their progress and growth, trying to track their no contact and trying to learn. So we've got some more courses coming out. We just had a gaslighting course that came out not too long ago. We've got one coming up this month about like guilt and just like the guilt like after the fact. So there's a lot of different stuff coming on it. But yeah, check that out.
There you go, right there, y'all. I see it. N.A. Narc.
We don't need the periods anymore. We're good. Yeah.
Yeah. Just type in Narc.
I finally got that fixed. We don't need. It's just Narc.
Yeah. Just type in the Narc app, y'all. Y'all good. Check out. I love that right there. She shout out your app out. I love that right there. She's like, including awesome. Ben's app. Yay. Hey, I love that right there. So y'all download the Narc app in the Apple Store, and also in the Play Store, the Google Play Store. So there you go. He's pushed it twice. So yeah, he doesn't want to get divorced. Actually, he doesn't want. He wants to exhaust you. Wait, somebody said Lee and Cluster B Milkshake on a lot. We've done a lot. All three of us have done a
while back.
I posted it. Yeah, I posted it a while ago. What does Scott say? The Cluster B Milkshake. Do you have a YouTube channel? Yeah, it's literally
called Cluster B Milkshake.
Yeah. Just search Cluster B Milkshake, y'all. Y'all will love. Hey. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. She gonna come at you with some real shit for real. Can you do a no contact order without physical abuse? That's tough right there. I feel like it depends on where you are. I think.
Yeah,
it depends on where you are. And you have to be able to prove it. You can't just say he screamed at me. That ain't gonna work. You know, you have to have evidence of some type of abuse. Incarnated love. What did Kathleen say? Oh, there you go. So we've done a lot. They want to see us triple team it again. Yeah, we'll set that up, y'all. Incarnated love, Kathleen. There you go. I remember I did a lot. I did a one-on-one her early when I first started doing them. She was like, "I'm incarnated love on YouTube." I'm like, "Oh, you?" Like, yeah. So I always see her name. Awesome. Hold on, let me see if anything else has popped up. Chantelli Lace, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Do you have any kind of questions or whatever? I was scrolling through. I'm trying to see any questions. Hold on, let me see this. I still have nightmares about psychological abuse, the trauma and confusion he put me through. I wake up very emotional after every nightmare. Is this normal? Am I alone? I feel like that's not. I can't answer the question because I feel like the mental stuff goes on. So y'all, do y'all feel like y'all have nightmares and stuff like that? I feel like rumination happens a lot. You ruminate about the relationship and things like that because however long you were in it. I feel like therapy, some psychotherapy or some type of EMDR or something else can help you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, can definitely be helpful to kind of process that.
It can get a lot deeper than that. Yeah, see, there you go, right there. Not at all, Leah. Awake and asleep. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not. See, there you go. You're not alone. I've been doing the exact same thing. So you see all those people right there. A real trigger one, a real like, y'all. Have you ever heard somebody say trigger one like that? And like trigger warning, go follow her. Yeah, I am here, Danielle Daniels. Well, I know you. Jumped off my meeting. Thanks for you guys. Help me so many other things. Thank you. I appreciate it, Danielle. Hope you're having a great day.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
I messaged you on IG. What? Send it again. Refresh it. Send it to the top, y'all.
Yeah, I
Send it,
struggle. Like I can't keep up with
yeah.
messages that hit Instagram.
Just say, hey Lee, this is Psycho Black from YouTube. Just send it right now. How do you deal with gaslighting? Documentation. Documenting and letting people know, letting yourself know what you went through, y'all.
Making sure that
You
you're
know,
not crazy. Yeah.
yeah, let yourself know what you've been through and things like that, y'all. And so many, I'm in too many. I'm in too many groups. I got group me's, WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups,
Right.
and whoo, y'all. I try. I'm trying, y'all.
I'm struggling tonight. Mm.
Right. Listen to Lee. If you follow Cluster B Milkshake, be ready. Yeah, be ready. Be ready if you follow me too, though. And also be ready if you follow Ben. It's not gonna all be the stuff that you want to hear, but it might be the stuff
Right.
that you need to hear. Some of y'all want to hear how to make it work, but you need to hear how to escape, or
Right.
need to hear the truth and the realization from everything, y'all. Why do narcs discard at the worst time? I had an accident on a four-wheeler and had to have 2 hip surgeries and a knee surgery. He left me during my healing. Of course, because now you gotta so this could be the optimal time to build up some credit in your relationship, some relationship credit. The relationship Visa card right here. He can take care of you, help build you up, but then he will use it against you for the rest of your relationship. She's like, hey girl, you remember you had the 2 hip surgeries and I took care of your ass? Shut up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he can just literally say that to you. Or he can leave and put the attention on him. So now you can't focus on your healing. Now you're sad. Now you're heartbroken.
Right.
You got 2 hips. You can't even wiggle your hips right now. So that
Yeah, a
right
lot of
there.
times like that discard comes because they're not getting the attention too. Like, gosh, I can't believe you had the inconvenience and the audacity to have 2 hip surgeries and take the focus off of me.
I was crushed by a truck. Mine drove me into the path, and then he left. Jesus Christ, y'all. Oof. Yeah, you're a burden now to some of these people, y'all. You're a burden. Yeah, you're a burden. What is that? You're a burden now. Sad but true. Look what I did for you. Poor me, victim. Yep, there you go. Jennifer
Greg did another call out for the app.
Who did? Greg?
Greg Pollitt did
There you go.
another call out for the app.
The Narc
That's
app
awesome.
is amazing. I'm a member, and there is such amazing content. Y'all, hey, that's another
That's
shout out.
encouraging to hear. Thanks, man.
I told you, look, there you go. See, y'all, look, it's in the app store right there. I have it on my phone. Look, the
Yeah, you can
Narc
kind of
app.
see.
NARC. Look at it. Look at the design. Like y'all see, look, you hit that, you hit my button, you get Ben's button.
Yep.
you hit my,
You got
you download the app, you hit my screen, you get Ben's screen. The Narc app.
narcissism defined, the lies they tell,
Mm-hmm.
will set you free, 5 answers. My
It's
reading is
called the Narc.
backwards.
It's called the
It's called
Narc
Narc.
app.
Narc.
NARC. Narc.
That's it.
Yep, there you go right there. Download the Narc app right now before you get out this live, y'all. We gotta get ready to cut this thing short. I know Ben gotta hop off. I gotta hop off here in a second too.
I gotta get some sleep. There.
Yeah. There you go. The Narc app. There you go right there in the app store, y'all. Y'all see it?
It's like too much of a glare.
Yeah. This is why I had to move mine around. I just like flick.
But yeah, Narc app. So
Yeah,
there's it's been out now for what, this is I guess the second month, and we're getting close to like 2,000 people on it.
2,000? Damn.
Yeah. So it's pretty crazy. So yeah, we're
that's
definitely excited. There's a lot more coming out of it. We just released the gaslighting course. That one is really cool. Yeah, it's on Google Play, it's on Android as well. And then we also Lisa is actually working on a course on guilt, talking about like the guilt, like afterwards, like how to process some of that, like the feeling and shame after the narcissist, so that's gonna be cool too. Mm-hmm.
Sunny?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she sent me like an early proof the other day. I just haven't had time to go through and look at it.
Nice.
Yeah, y'all check it out. And then if y'all are free next Wednesday, April 6th, we're doing a webinar. So Lee and myself are going to be on it. 2 other psychologists, counselors, and then 2 other people that are coaches that are going through divorce as well. So kind of a wide variety of a lot of people that are going to be talking about identifying and overcoming narcissistic abuse. So he dropped the link right there. We've also got the link on any of our bios, things like that. So please check it out. Reserve y'all's ticket to be able to come and just hear some hard-hitting questions that are going to be fielded by a lot of different versions, a lot of different people.
So yeah, the webinar is next. Like I said, next Wednesday. We won't be going live next Wednesday, y'all. But we'll be doing the webinar. So if y'all like these lives, imagine me and Ben plus 2 actual therapists, psychologists, plus 2 survivors and coaches who have all been through narcissistic abuse. There's gonna be like y'all.
And it's like 2 hours, right?
It's gonna be probably the first one I was part of went over, so maybe 2.5 hours. And if you join it and miss it, if
we
you
can
pay
get it over.
you join it and miss it, they'll also send you a copy of it as well, y'all. So yeah, you can be
Yeah,
part.
that's a good point too.
It's a webinar. Like I said, it's a live Zoom webinar, live question and answer. It's gonna be. I love doing this. You know, that's why I like promoting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you're gonna need a lot of questions and things answered from so many different perspectives, y'all. So many
Yeah, and
different.
that's a good aspect too. Like if y'all can't make it, go sign up as well, because then they can send you the recording and you can still watch it after the fact anytime you want. So even if you know, like, hey, I'm busy next Wednesday, just go ahead and go sign up, because you'll get that link where you can be able to watch it afterwards.
Yep. So you see right there, how do we get a one-on-one session? So I have a link in my bio for that as well. But then www.rawmotivations.com. You can check out all Ben's stuff. His link is on there. His app is on there. Everything's on there, y'all. Check out Ben's stuff. Like Ben, like I said, y'all know I don't shout out people who I don't believe in. I go live with Ben every week. I believe in Ben's shit. I believe what he has going on. I love talking to him. He gets me. I get him. We vibe. You know. So like I said, www.rawmotivations.com. I just put the link in there, y'all. So I'm like, wait, it's not going. What is it not going to? It's not going to Twitch. Oh, there you go, Twitch. I have Twitch. You know, you have a Twitch?
I don't.
I just be posting stuff to Twitch. If anybody else goes, there you go. So Cluster B Milkshake is not going to be part of this one, y'all. So I don't. It's not my webinar. It's Lisa Sonny's.
Right. We just got invited.
Yeah. Why won't my ex just block me? I wouldn't block you. I want you to see me glowing up and treating somebody else better than I've treated you, because you don't deserve to be treated good, Danielle. Point blank, period. This new person deserves to be treated better than you. I want you to see it.
If your ex didn't respect you in the relationship, what makes you think they'd respect you by blocking you?
Oh, good God. Yes. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Angel, do you think the new supply always eventually reaches out to the narc ex's kid's mom? Not always. Sometimes if they feel defeated, they'll just be like, "Hey, Angel, he treated me terribly, just like he treated you. Damn, you know, that damn, you were especially if you try to warn them, and if you tried to warn them in the beginning, and they thought they were just better than you, they could put up with it better than you did. Then yeah, in the end, they might swallow their pride and reach out to you as a support system. You know." Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris Cassie. Appreciate you. And Angel, you can always message me on Instagram, too, girl. And Chris Cassie, you too. Awesome. I accidentally clicked that one. I was trying to click something else, and it's just like 7 comments came at the same time. But y'all, we're gonna wrap this thing up, y'all. So like I said, we got hop over here. I got all my kids today. So
where is it to sign up on your website? Rawmotivations.com is mine. Do you have have you locked down a website for you yet?
I had to get mentalhealness.net. It's coming soon. My cousin literally texted me while I was on here to finish it up. Yeah. So he was like, man, the .net.com don't matter, man. Just get it, bro. I'll set you up. And I'm just working with it, man. So,
nice.
So am I wrong for you again? Am I wrong for sleeping with his ex? So Tara, let me ask you.
It wasn't because of her. Gotcha.
Yeah. Was it so? They stopped being friends years ago, not because of me. So they wasn't friends. So to me, as a narcissist, to me, it like you did it, like you spiked it. You spite fucked him. If you ask me, it's just like it's your ex friend, your enemy. It's like the enemy of my enemy is also my friend. So to me, it just seemed like you went back and banged his ex friend to get back at him. That's to me. That's how my narcissistic perspective works on this one right there. Could you have done that? Yeah, possibly. But could you have not done that? Also, no. So it just seemed like you might have been trying to get back at him.
Yeah.
My narc, it was horrible to me. I was right there. Yeah. It seemed like to me that you might have just circled back to get his ex friend. They stopped being friends years ago. So it seemed like you knew they stopped being friends years ago. And then you went back and banged him to get back at your ex. That would seem like to me, from my perspective. So, are you wrong for that? No, your feelings were hurt. You maybe trying
But
to get
that's
back.
how he'd interpret it.
I like some good vengeance. Just for me, I think vengeance is a dish best to serve cold. Cold in his friend's bed. I'm just joking, but don't But just be safe. I'm just not like, is it wrong? I mean, this is subjective. It depends on who you're talking to. Your friends gonna say, no, girl, do you? Me as a narcissist, I'm just like, it seemed like you did that on purpose to try to hurt me. And if I was dating you, like, hey man, if me and Ben were best friends and we stopped being friends, and it's like, hey man, your ex terrible and fuck Ben, right? I'm like, what? What? Really? When? Damn. Damn, that hurt a little bit. Ben, raw motivations. Damn, that hurt.
Right. No, I definitely see that.
That's just how my mind works, y'all. I just feel like there was vengeance right there. If y'all would started did y'all start a relationship after that? Because there would be something different. I just feel like y'all just went and just like slept together and y'all let him know it. Then it's kind of like, each his own. Right? This is Planet Fitness right here, y'all. This is no judgment zone. Do you?
I'm gonna have to get off here.
Yeah, me too, y'all. So yeah, thank you. Look, we're gonna hop off of here, y'all. If y'all haven't followed Ben, look, Ben is on all platforms, y'all. Rawmotivations.com, Raw Motivations on Instagram, Raw_motivations on YouTube, on TikTok.
Yeah,
he's on YouTube as well. Hold on, I'm gonna put your stuff in here.
Raw Motivations.
I'm gonna put his stuff in here on YouTube. I'm gonna put his YouTube channel here, y'all, so y'all can check him out. Raw Motivations. If you looking at this on Facebook, I'll tag his Facebook page in it, so y'all can just click directly to his Facebook. And if like I said, if you're on, let's say, Instagram and YouTube, just search Ben. YouTube, you can just search Ben Taylor Raw Motivations, it pops up. But because I signed out all of my stuff and I just searched that. I searched Ben Taylor Raw Motivations, if you'll pop up, and you
right.
You do. But yeah, see y'all April 6th. Yes, April 6th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The live webinar event is coming up. You can sign up for it on, like I say, check Ben's profile up, check mine out as well. You can sign up for that.
And if you know you're not going to be there, you'll get the recording.
2 Self-Aware Narcissists, 2 therapists, coaches, and 2 also coaches. So if that's just, I watch all your videos. Thank y'all. But y'all, appreciate y'all tuning in to another live. We'll be live next week on Ben's channel. So follow Ben again, y'all. Y'all see this collab again next week on Ben's channel. Send the love.
Next week with a webinar.
Oh god damn, yeah. So the week after next, the 13th.
I mean, depending on what time the webinar ends, we could go live after that too.
Oh yeah. We could. We definitely could.
We'll just make it a 4-hour live event.
Just be live the whole time. Look,
we'll see how we feel after we get
thank y'all so much for tuning in. Ashley Norton, you can message me. Ashley, you can message me anytime too. Y'all be safe. Take care. Like I said, rawmotivations.com. The Narc app. Peace. Thank y'all so much. Peace. All right, man.
All right. I'll see you.